Hello, bookworms, and welcome to the Book Up. I'm your host, Verdell Walker. Books are my passion, and my mission is simple: to help you find the books you'll love and dodge the ones you won't. Each week, I review a book in just 15 minutes. By the end, you'll know whether it belongs at the top of your TBR pile or is destined for a DNF. Think of me as your personal book matchmaker. So come on in, get cozy, and let me give you the Book Up. All right, bookworms, you know the drill. Time to shout out a reviewer. Roy Murphy-Jones left me a review that made me smile and also blush a little bit. They wrote, "That voice. Can we talk about how soothing and cozy Verdell's voice is? I just love listening to this podcast, and it transports me to all sorts of worlds. She's inspired me to read fantasy again, and I'm glad she's doing the hard work of finding books that I will dive into." Why, thank you, Roy. That is so kind. Perhaps I have a future in ASMR? I'm also glad to hear that I'm reigniting your love of fantasy, which is very apropos because I have a lush fantasy novel for y'all today. The Everlasting by Alix Harrow is published by Tor Books. The print edition is 320 pages, and it's also available as an ebook and an audiobook. Here's the publisher's summary. Sir Una Everlasting was Dominion's greatest hero, the orphaned girl who became a knight, who died for queen and country. Her legend lives on in songs and stories, in children's books and recruiting posters. But her life, as it truly happened, has been forgotten. Centuries later, Owen Mallory, failed soldier, struggling scholar, falls in love with the tale of Una Everlasting. Her story takes him to war, to the archives, and then into the past itself. Una and Owen are tangled together in time, bound to retell the same story over and over again, no matter what it cost. But that story always ends the same way. If they want to rewrite Una's legend, if they want to tell a different story, they'll have to rewrite history itself. Real quick, if you're enjoying the Book Up, I would love it if you took 2 minutes to leave me a rating and a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. I'm on a mission to hit 50 reviews, and I'm not quite there yet. So every single one genuinely counts. Reviews help more book lovers like you find the show. Okay, back to the Everlasting. 2025 was the year of the Lady Knight, with so many novels coming on the market in this trend, like The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling, The Isle in the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri, and V.L. Bovalino's The Second Death of Locke, which is actually on my TBR. These are strong female leads with swords and armor. And today's book, The Everlasting by Alix Harrow, is absolutely a part of that trend too. So after reading The Night and the Moth, I really wanted more lady knights in my life. So I picked this one up. Also, I loved Alix's book, Starling House, and a lot of her short fiction. In this book, she is doing what she does best, writing a love story between two broken people who find each other in a crazy, often life-threatening situation. The Everlasting owes a debt to Arthurian legend if the Knights of the Round Table had PTSD. I think the best way for me to describe this book to you is King Arthur meets Groundhog Day with a healthy dash of Xena, warrior princess. Alix's writing is a standout here, like always. It's lyrical and transportive. She's just a master of her craft and a damn good writer. She is a poet who writes prose. The book is also chock full of yearning, capital Y yearning. Other authors, please take note. This book is a mastercraft in yearning between two people. She has created two characters you want to spend time with and a villain you will love to hate. So the story centers on Owen and Una, both of whom are soldiers, both of whom suffer from PTSD and have been majorly messed up by the brutality that they see in war in their respective lives and timelines. So Una, she is like Xena meets Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. She's a legendary knight whose story has been told in history books for centuries for her heroism in sacrificing herself to save the kingdom of Dominion and her queen, Yvan. But Una is so worn out and hollowed out by her mission. And we find out in the book that she is called to do some truly horrific things in Yvan's service. Yvan had her out there committing war crimes, y'all. Like, Una is so full of self loathing, she really considers herself to be a monster. And she's more of a symbol than a person. That is until Owen goes back in time to make sure she stays on mission. So the male lead, Owen, is a historian and a war veteran who is intellectually brilliant and emotionally stunted. He is just shy of pathetic, if I'm being real. He has been obsessed with Una's legend for years, and it's what led him to enlist in the armed forces of Dominion. And he was grievously wounded in war and given a medal, but he still feels like a fraud. His mother, who is not named and who he never met, was not from Dominion. So Owen looks like the quote unquote other, which adds another layer to his character. So one day, Owen mysteriously receives this ancient book about Una's life, but he finds the pages are blank. So Vivian Rolfe, who is the Chancellor of Dominion, sends him back in time to meet Una and make sure her story unfolds as it was recorded. So Dominion has someone to believe in. Back to that heifer Vivian in a minute. Bear with me, y'all. So this is not a spoiler. Owen goes back and completes his mission. But once he gets to know the real woman behind the myth, he falls completely head over heels in love with Una. And she with him. But that's only the beginning because Owen keeps getting sent back in time by Vivian to make sure that Una dies. So the myth of Una lives on to be useful to the Empire of Dominion. So they are stuck in this time loop of them falling in love and reliving the events that lead to Una's death over and over and over and over again. And the two of them become determined to rewrite history in the hopes that they can defy fate and change Una's ending. It sounds repetitive, but it's not. It put my heart into a blender reading about their love developing and their struggle to be together and throw off the shackles that they've been chained with. They fight to heal from their wounds, both physical and emotional. Owen helps Una see that she is more than her sword and to find value in herself for just being herself. And Una helps Owen find his own self-worth again, to see that he is not a coward, that he is worthy too. Y'all, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Like, Alix, what have you done to me? So now on to the villain, the big bad of this book, Vivian Rolfe. She's presented as a self serving, scheming politician, but y'all, it's deeper than that. She hides behind smiles and jokes like a lot of women in power have to do, but beneath all of that is a terrifying resolve. She has insatiable ambition. It's never enough for her. She just wants more and more and more. And she really doesn't give a damn who she has to use and destroy to get it. If I had to quibble, her motivations are a little shaky. And the whole beleaguered woman in power having to deal with small minded men thing can be a little tiresome. But all in all, Vivian is a worthy antagonist. And the link between her and Una truly dropped my jaw. And Vivian's origin story, which is revealed in the final act of the novel, was truly unexpected. Now I want to touch on two themes of this book that are really important. First, the power of story. Every story serves someone, and Alix really hammers this home. Una's whole purpose, why Vivian keeps subjecting Owen to this nightmare, is to be a story that serves the cause of the Kingdom of Dominion. It's a really deft handling of the power of propaganda and people shaping stories to suit their own ends. Who gets to tell the story and who doesn't? Very apropos of the times that we find ourselves in now. Second, this book examines the double edged nature of love. This book is a meditation on how love can hurt and how it can heal. And it's really exemplified in Una. Her love for Ivan is so deep, but is dark and twisted because Ivan uses it as a cudgel and a leash to get Una to do whatever she wants. And Una learns that lesson and she takes it to heart. One of the most heartbreaking quotes from Una is this one. She's speaking to Owen here. I wanted to be what you wanted. Was that not how you loved someone? By hammering your body into whatever shape they liked best and fitting yourself to them like a hilt? God, like she's just so broken, y'all. And it takes being loved by Owen, loved unconditionally, for her to break that cage. Owen has a very astute observation about love and how it can be twisted. That we can make love into chains, debts, and cages. I was so struck by that because it describes textbook emotional abuse, which I now realize is a theme that's been running through some other books that I've featured this season. Alix is making a really powerful observation that love is supposed to be a freeing thing. But if we aren't careful, it can curdle into something very harmful. Anyway, Alix gave us a lot to chew on and think about, and I'm still thinking about it, which is a sign that this is a great book. But if there's one thing that I didn't like about this book, it's that it gets a bit crass during the sex scenes. I personally hate reading the word cunt, and Alix uses it a lot. I took away a half star for that. And when it comes up, it's distracting because it's at odds with the lyrical, poetic language that she uses for literally everything else. I didn't notice it in Starling House, and it's a minor quibble here that doesn't take away from the overall power of the book, but it's just something I really don't like. It's a Verdell thing. But all in all, my final rating for The Everlasting is 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's lyrical, brutal, romantic, and smart. It's the kind of fantasy that isn't just about swords and legends, but it's about what stories do to people, who they serve, and what it costs to become a symbol rather than a human being. Una is such a powerful character, and watching her slowly reclaim her humanity through Owen's love was genuinely beautiful. Harrow's writing is stunning, the emotional arc is devastating, and the themes around propaganda, power, and love as a weapon feel extremely relevant right now. I also really appreciated how she explores love as something that can either heal you or trap you, and how easily devotion can turn into a cage. The only reason I didn't give this book 5 stars is that the sex scenes occasionally get a little too crass for my taste, and the language there fell out of step with the rest of Harrow's gorgeous prose. But overall, this is an incredible book, and it's one I'll be thinking about for a very long time. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Book Up. If you want to pick up today's book, check out the episode description for shoppable links. I'll earn a commission if you make a purchase, so your support helps keep the show going. And if you're enjoying The Book Up, please take a moment to leave a rating and a review. It makes a huge difference in helping other book lovers find the show, and I read every single one. Don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And come say hi over on Instagram at The Book Up Pod. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next time on The Book Up.